my name is Nguyen-Tu, and I'm going to be doing a speech on student participation in clubs. Do you remember attending club in high school or college? I definitely do. After all, I am a high school student at Days Fine Arts Management School, and I am part of multiple clubs including Math Club, Science Club, Art Club, and Latin Club. Being a part of these clubs, I have learned many topics that are not usually taught in the regular school classes, such as fractals in Math Club and how to set up a garden in Science Club. It comes to show that participating in clubs is beneficial for students. However, according to a December 2014 study from the U.S. Census Bureau, slightly less than a third of all children ages 6 to 17 participate in clubs. This lack of student involvement in clubs is a problem because students who do not participate in clubs have less student engagement and do not develop important group skills. Furthermore, this problem extends to students of all grade levels, since if it's not fixed in elementary or middle school or high school, it's going to continue on to college. By participating in clubs, students can develop higher school engagement levels, hone their skills, and pursue their interests. The percentage of students participating in clubs is not very high. This lack of participation in clubs is harmful to the students' engagement with their school. After all, according to a November 2018 report from the U.S. Census Bureau, children tend to have higher school engagement levels when involved in at least one extracurricular activity, such as a club. This higher school engagement level makes sense because students will be spending more time with topics involved in the club they participate in a way that is less restrictive and more fun as they work with their peers than in the regular school environment. As a result, they can develop a love for the material in a way that would not be possible in the regular school environment. In addition to lower student engagement with their school, not participating in clubs hinders students' development of important group skills. As Jonathan Haynes' dissertation on the effects of extracurricular activities on student skills summarized, research from multiple sources indicate that extracurricular activities such as clubs better prepare students for both future educational and professional endeavors. This is supported by the National Association of Student Personnel Administrators Journal by John Fubert and Lauren Granger about the effects of club involvement on students, where they concluded that those involved in club activity also demonstrated higher levels of development in many areas, such as career planning and life management. After all, through participating in topics and interacting with others in clubs, the students' skills in those areas will naturally improve. This problem would not happen if the students did not participate in any clubs. This problem of a lack of student engagement in schools can be attributed to both a lack of encouragement and effort. This is caused by several inadequacies in the present system where parents and students do not overly care about participating in clubs. For example, when asked why he did not participate in after-school clubs, my peer named Jackson replied there is no real point. When I asked his mom about how she felt about her son in clubs, she replied that it was his decision on whether or not to join a club. The opinions of other students on club participation are the same. This lack of student participation in clubs will continue unless parents support and encourage their children to participate in clubs and students learn the value of clubs. After all, especially when students are unable to provide transportation for themselves, parental support is necessary for their children to be able to participate in clubs. Additionally, unless parents encourage their children to participate in clubs and students realize the value of clubs, the student would not be inclined to actively participate. Since this lack of participation in clubs is not solved with the current system, we should try to work to solve it ourselves. To begin, we need to inform parents that clubs help students develop higher school engagement levels, hone their skills, and pursue their interests so that they will encourage their children to participate in clubs. Then, we need to convince the students themselves that clubs are worth their effort in participating by telling them about the clubs available to them, such as the University of West Georgia Management Club or the Geosciences Club. In doing so, we need to stress how the clubs can help them pursue their interests by explaining how the UWG Management Club helps members meet and network with peers and business leaders in the community, or the Geosciences Club facilitates talks about the geosciences. Finally, we need to tell the parents and the students themselves to convince others about the benefits of participating in a club. This solution will significantly reduce the problems I identified earlier because it will increase student engagement in their school and allow students to develop their group skills. After all, by participating in clubs, students will become more involved with the school events related to the club of their choice. Furthermore, by participating in the clubs and events related to the club, the students will work with their peers and communicate with their teachers more. Now, let's look at the future. Without encouraging students to participate in clubs, they become increasingly detached from their school. This would negatively impact the learning experience as they are not involved with material. In addition, when the students grow to become working adults, they will lack the temperate skills and in communication and teamwork gained from participating in clubs. In other words, the students become less successful without club participation. Now, on the other hand, if we succeed in causing students to actively participate in clubs, they will gain the vital skills businesses seek in the people they hire and will enjoy learning more. By having students participate in clubs, we will be setting them up to become more successful later on. The advantages of enacting the solution outweigh any negative effects. By convincing the parents first, the student will become more easily convinced with the parents' support. After all, children listen to their parents' advice. Additionally, by convincing the parents and the students to convince others, we will create a chain reaction encouraging students to participate in clubs. After all, each consecutive person convinced will add an additional person encouraging others to participate in clubs. Now, some say that there are disadvantages to my solution. For example, some say that students will still not listen and still not participate in clubs. But this is not necessarily true, because with parents' encouragement and support, the student will eventually begin to participate in at least one club, whether it's just to try it out or to continue for the long term. Now, people would say that parents might not listen and not encourage their students to participate in the club. This is also not necessarily true because the majority of parents want what is best for their child. In addition, as long as the student is convinced, he or she will participate in at least one club. My solution is the best solution because while some may argue that we should try working with schools to encourage students to participate in clubs, my solution is better because the school encouraging clubs is not nearly as effective as convincing the parents and the students themselves about the benefits of club participation. After all, students live with their parents. Additionally, if the school were to encourage clubs, it would make it seem as if the clubs were an extension of the regular school day and act as a deterrent for students to participate in clubs, since they would view it as staying longer at school, which they would not like. Students not participating in clubs negatively affects their engagement through the school and prevents their group skills from developing. The best way to solve this problem is to convince both the parents and the students. Together, we must encourage our fellow peers so that students everywhere can have an increased dedication to school and become better prepared for the workforce. It's not hard. If everyone here convinced one person, this lack of participation in clubs problem will eventually be solved. Thank you.